It's Sunday, September 6th. My name's Juan Brown. You're watching the Blanco Lirio channel, and breaking news, we got to do an update on the creek fire near Shaver Lake and Sierra National Forest in the Sierra Nevada mountains near Central California, south of Yosemite. This fire broke, I think, Friday night, and overnight, within 24 hours, exploded to over 36,000 acres. What's driving this fire right now in the Sierras is the extreme temperatures. Right here at Blanco Lirio Global Headquarters, we're well far away from that fire. However, here in Northern and Central California, we've got another large heat wave. Last night we had a low temperature of 80 degrees, the highest low temperature I've seen at this elevation, 3,000 feet all summer long. Down in the Sacramento Valley, the temperatures are going to exceed 110 degrees today. Down there where this fire broke out, it's primarily being driven by these hot temperatures, and in the afternoon, the canyon winds are driving this fire up canyon, and within 24 hours, exploded to nearly 36,000 acres. So there's been some rescue efforts involved with this fire. It's Labor Day weekend. Folks are out. All of our forests up and down Northern California have just been absolutely inundated with people getting out of the house because of this current COVID situation. So the forests have been very crowded, and this weekend is no exception. So we had a lot of folks that are in the forest recreating that are impacted by this fire. And a local OHV riding club was doing a poker run at the Mammoth Pools campground and needed to be rescued. So let's go inside and take a look at the map, and I'll show you exactly what's going on. The California Air National Guard has been able to rescue, latest reports say, 224 people from out of the area, with only 12 people injured. Air assets are hitting the fire, S-2Ts, very large air tankers. There's no containment at this point. Let's go inside and take a look. I'll show you exactly the topography and how these folks got stuck. Being a holiday weekend, there's not a lot of good information being available on this fire yet. So let's first jump over to the CAL FIRE website, see if we can figure out what's going on. All they got so far is the title, Creek Fire, 36,000 acres, active for 1 day. Let's refresh this. Make sure that's current. And in an effort to refresh this, of course, this website is down. They just cannot get the information out in a timely fashion. Here's some local news from Sierra News Online. This is yesterday's news. Update. Additional evacuation orders are in for the following areas: Clover Meadow, surrounding campgrounds, Arnold Meadow, Minarets Work Center, Chiquito Campground, Besor Road, north to Clover Meadow. We'll look at all this on the map here in a second. This is an evacuation order to leave now. The area is being closed to the public. More than 5,000 acres burned. Again, this is yesterday's news. 2,000 acres threatened, 0% containment. These structures are primarily summer vacation cabins. The creek fire is burning in the Sierra National Forest. It started near the San Joaquin River and the communities of Big Creek and Huntington Lake. Evacuation orders have also been issued for Huntington Lake, Big Creek, Shaver Lake, Camp Edison, and south on 168 to Littlefield Road. Shaver Lake is to the south of the fire and has so far been out of the way of this fire. The creek fire has jumped the San Joaquin River and has moved up into Madera County with evacuation orders for the Kinsman and North Fork, where Madera County Sheriff's deputies went door-to-door evacuating residents. The camping areas of Rock Creek and Fish Creek have also been evacuated. In addition, a forward fire, that's a spot fire, driven by the winds, 5 miles north caused from embers, has caused the evacuation orders for Cascade Woods and Whiskey Falls area, now dubbed the Peckinpah Fire. And they've got evacuation centers set up, 20 engines, 5 hand crews, 3 dozers, 2 helicopters, and 3 air tankers, 450 personnel. That's not a lot of people for a 36,000 acre fire. Now, to be fair, the reason CAL FIRE may not have a lot of information here is this is now primarily on federal land. So if we go over here to Inci Web, we can get a better idea of what's going on. We're here in the central Sierra Nevada mountains, east of Merced and Fresno, Shaver Lake area, right down in here. Here's Shaver Lake to the south. Huntington Lake is just on the outskirts of the fire, and the fire is being driven up the San Joaquin River to the north. Right up here to Mammoth Pool Reservoir, and this campground that the evacuations were being taken place at is located right up in this area here. Size 36,000 acres. Date of origin, Friday, September 4th, about 6 p.m. Both sides of the San Joaquin River near Mammoth Pool and communities of Shaver Lake, Big Creek, Huntington Lake. And there's the evacuations and road closures. There's a good picture of what it looks like from Shaver Lake. These may very well form their own pyrocumulus cloud formations, creating their own weather. Quick look at wind finder, see what the winds are doing. 5 hours from now, or right about now, we have the winds flowing downslope out of the mountains. As the day progresses, that wind will turn around and start flowing up the mountains as the heat progresses throughout the day into the afternoon, where it peaks out up towards about 15 or so miles an hour. These winds heading upslope will drive this fire up canyon, and in this topography means to the north. Then as the day wanes on and we get back towards sunset, those winds die off and repeat the cycle of heading gently downslope. Here's some pictures showing up on Twitter, Facebook from the California National Guard. I believe this is the boat ramp going into the Mammoth Pools Reservoir, looking at the texture on the concrete there, and you can see fire on both sides. Of course, well, I assume this is night, but it could very well be so smoky that could be a daytime shot. I'm not sure. Here's a shot of the California Air National Guard Chinook helicopters getting the folks rescued out of the OHV club from the Mammoth Pools campground area, which is located just above the Mammoth Pools Reservoir. There's a nice big clear area there that makes a pretty safe place to hunker down as this fire surrounds them. But nevertheless, over 200 folks sounds like they got rescued out of here, thanks to the California Air National Guard and their helicopter crews. Now let's go to Google Earth and take a look at the topography here locally. Fly on down towards Shaver Lake. Here's Shaver Lake. Here's the San Joaquin River coming south out of the Sierras. This fire started, not sure, somewhere down in this area here, where this branch of the river heads on up to Huntington Lake. And this, driven by the winds and, of course, the hot temperature, this fire was driven to the north and a bit here to the east up this canyon, but primarily up the San Joaquin River Canyon, both sides of the canyon, and headed right for Mammoth Pools Reservoir, located right here. And right about here is where the Mammoth Pool campground area is, and right here is where you saw that picture of the Chinook helicopter rescuing folks out of this landing pad, or this parking lot, landing pad if you're a helicopter pilot, parking lot for the boaters using Mammoth Pools Reservoir. And here's that boat ramp that we saw the picture from. So this fire has worked its way north up the San Joaquin River, driven by the afternoon winds, right up into the Mammoth Pool Reservoirs area. Now, there's numerous, well, let's go take a look at the escape routes. Here on Google Maps, you can get a rough outline of the creek fire just north of Shaver Lake here. There's the problem here in this part of the Sierra is, like much of the Sierra, you cannot get up and over. You cannot escape to the east. It's wilderness area and or just too steep to get any access up and over the summit of the Sierra. So your only escape route is to basically go back the way you came, primarily down Highway 168, which, of course, is all clogged up with traffic. There are some escape routes north up out of the fire. Again, here is the Mammoth Pools Reservoir, Mammoth Pools Campground. There are some escape routes up to the north. However, these are Forest Service twisty roads. And over the years, if you look at the motor vehicle use maps for this area, these roads have been slowly shut down due to a lack of logging industry and a lot of environmental concerns to return the forest to its natural state, and a lack of funding, any number of reasons. Many of these roads have deteriorated over the years, and as these roads erode, various creek crossings, bridges fail, and they do not get repaired very quickly, if at all. So a lot of these folks trying to escape to the north are having troubles with some of these obstacles in their way, and thus have to get rescued. If you go on the U.S. Forest Service website, you can find access to motor vehicle use maps. You can also download them for your Avenza maps, and I take them on the trail with me. Here's what a motor vehicle use map looks like on the paper version, and you can download this in a PDF format and take it with you on the trail. Once you get into a wilderness area like Dinky or Kaiser, there is no motor vehicle movement allowed unless it's an established paved road. And many of the logging roads have been terminated or cut off and are no longer usable or even allowed routes. So I hope that gives you a little better understanding of what's going on with the creek fire, depending on where you're from, in Sierra National Forest near Shaver Lake, California. Great job, California Air National Guard crews, getting folks out of harm's way. Thanks so much for your support of this channel, especially those of you on Patreon that make this content possible. Get your Blanco Lirio hats available over on Patreon as well. A lot more content over there. See you here. Thanks.